family.
Hey.
Thanks for being here and joining us today. You guys are awesome.
We're back.
We appreciate you. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about our physical well-being.
So health, wellness, that's something that is really, really important to us in our marriage, in our life.
Now,
it's been a big journey. We should preface all of this. So we do get asked about it a lot because we do like races and we're into like a lot of like sport kind of stuff, but
physically active.
Very physically active. And we're going to talk about why and all of that and like things that we find that have helped us in this journey of like finding fitness. But it is important to preface it with the fact that we are not doctors.
We're professionals.
We are not nutritionists. We're not dietitians or sports fitness we don't. So we dabble because of our own, and we're going to share like kind of things that have worked for us, and again like our why and why this even relates to marriage at all.
Yeah. If it worked for us, it might work for you, and it may not.
It might, but we're not your doctor, and so this is not medical advice. And I want to preface it, like anytime we talk about stuff like that or mental health, like it's really important to know that like we can only share from our own perspective and what's worked for us. So that said,
so
the
journey, I think we've always been active people. We've always enjoyed hiking and like the outdoors. I think there's a lot of things that we had in common
when we started dating
that brought us together. So it's not like it's something
hiking
new.
was our first date.
Yeah,
hiking was when we signed our marriage papers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
we're big outdoor people.
Really, I think it goes back to, like, I think you had mentioned to me one time, it's like 10 years ago. This is like right before COVID of the Daniel plan.
Oh, it was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a long time.
I don't know. There was a period in which I realized early on, like I was in my 20s still, like late 20s, and I was like, we should probably like be healthy people. And it wasn't necessarily always about like when I was in my early 20s, any kind of fitness or diet that I did was like to try to like just be skinny. And then I hit this like, well, we have kids and like I just wanted to be more like healthy. And so a lot of people started talking about the Daniel plan.
Yeah.
If you're old, like if you've been going to church for 15 plus years, you probably have heard of it, because it basically was this pastor and he realized that his congregation, including himself, was out of shape, and he was like, how can we fix this? And so he created the Daniel plan. Like he worked with some people, like professionals, and created what's known as the Daniel plan. And you can buy his book, and we did. And I got into it because so many people were like, man, I feel great. Like they got to the end of this plan and they were like, man, I just like, I have more energy and I'm not craving sugar anymore. And, like all these things. And I was like, that sounds really cool. And so I forced us to do it. And it's not easy. It was one of the more restrictive things that I have forced us to do in our marriage.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I've made us do a lot of restrictive weird diets.
Yeah, and I've done my share of putting my foot down and whining and complaining about a lot of these diets or changing in personal lifestyle.
Whining and complaining is like a minor way of putting his.
I didn't like it.
He didn't like it at all.
I didn't like change when it came to my diet.
So the Daniel plan is like it starts with this 10-day detox of like, you can't have anything. You can't have sugar, you can't have dairy, you can't have gluten, you can't have caffeine, you can't have alcohol, you can't, like, it's like you can't. But then it's supposed to like you can't even chew gum.
And then you ease yourself back into healthier things.
We did not. We got through the 10 days, and felt okay and were fighting. And then on day 11,
I made a pie.
And we ate the whole pie.
Right out of the tin.
Right out of the tin.
Fresh blueberry pie. So.
Didn't even, it was like warm.
And we've done it on and off since then for a few years after at least.
Yeah, there was like, oh, we should do another 10-day fast. But the problem that I discovered with like pretty quickly was like detoxes are a quick, whatever you want to call, like if it was weight loss, if it was whatever, but it taught us absolutely zero things.
No, I mean, yes and no. I think it taught me like how, like the different kinds of addiction that you have. Like for me, like sugar.
Sure,
like
but it didn't teach you
we would go 10 days in and I'd be like,
how to actually live
healthy. No, but it taught me like things that I'm like, wow, this would be really hard to live without sugar. Even, that's.
I think. Well, yeah, I guess
there's little things it teaches you about yourself.
If nothing else, it taught me that I don't like giving things up. Yeah. And so.
And that started it. That started it. I guess one of the bigger ones, and then COVID.
Well, before even pre-COVID, when we lived in Berlin.
Oh yeah.
In those 2 years, I first made us go vegan, and that lasted about a month. We did about a month on that, and nobody's insides liked that. No, that was like a big tummy ache for about a month. Long story short on that one is that like it turns out that everything that's a meat replacement or like because I didn't do like, oh, I'm gonna go buy all the like processed like fake tofurkey and things like that, like good on, like I just don't like the flavor of them. So we were like, let's have beans and lentils and all of that, and it is just a massive amount of fiber that we weren't used to, and so our insides didn't appreciate that. We lasted about a month, and then I love meat. Yeah. And my kids love meat, and Tyler loves meat, and it just didn't last.
Didn't work.
And I love cheese, and I like there's so many things that I was like, I just really want pizza, and so that didn't work. I also then made us go carnivore, like not carnivore, like paleo, I guess, for a little bit, where it was like we ate a lot of meat and like it was the exact opposite, but like then we're not gonna have gluten.
Or processed boxes, bags.
Yeah, and that lasted a little bit, and then it was like, oh my goodness, we walked in Germany. We passed like 7 bakeries on our 1 mile walk to work. So
didn't work. They weren't realistic for our lifestyle.
I also love bread.
And then.
And beer.
We moved back to the United States.
So we moved to the U.S. and 3 years later, COVID hit.
Yeah. And we were stuck in the house. And so what do? We baked a lot of goods. We drank a lot of alcohol, and we weren't feeling.
And we tried
healthy.
To get out of the house and like be active, but we just like.
It wasn't enough to offset the amount.
It was not enough, yeah. And so, like a lot of people, after about a year, we realized that we had gotten into some pretty unhealthy rhythms.
Yeah. And that.
I would like to say that it only lasted a year though, because it wasn't until about 3 years ago. So it lasted about 2 years of these unhealthy rhythms of like a glass of wine every night and or more, and like pair that with some ice cream. And then go for a 2 mile run and say, we'll call it good.
Yeah.
That lasted a little bit. And then we both had this like realization of like, we can't keep it up.
Yeah. We either need to change our lifestyle or just come to terms with this is us. Like this is our body type.
We have these aging bodies that are not going to be able to do as much.
Yeah.
That are not going to be as fit as they used to be, but we're approaching 40.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It's what it is.
Be happy with what you have.
Yeah. And
so
we were kind of torn.
Yeah, and you came across this it's like an app program.
Yeah.
It was called Noom.
Noom.
And it was a small minimal fee for a period.
Like a 12-week program. Yeah.
And so we're like, well, we'll just do it for one period just to see, and if it doesn't work, then we're okay with where we are.
Yeah.
Or we'll have to be.
We'll have to be. Like, we'll do one more attempt. But this time, the difference is that I found a program, like Tyler said was like an app. It was like, I think you said it's like Duolingo, but for learning about nutrition.
And that was
like,
the thing
that was like
different.
It was different because it wasn't just like, here's how you're going to restrict yourself. It was actually teaching you about nutrition.
Yeah.
And everything was balanced. And I remember being so relieved when like week 1 of the program, and it was like, there's 0 foods that you can't have. In fact, like, you can have pizza, you can have, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
And so we did it. And in about 12 weeks, we started feeling really good.
Yeah. And I appreciate, again, that it was knowledge-based, that it taught us things. And I also appreciate that, like, from there to now, like, in the last 3 years, you really, like, gravitate towards the knowledge piece.
I love it.
When, like, teaching me or learning, you're, like, continuing to learn about whether it's different health-related things, whether it comes to diet, or macros and micros, and or just like physical fitness, just like, oh, we need to try this.
Growing up,
pushing each other physically.
Growing up, my whole family was always like, you need to be a teacher because there's like very few things that bring me as much joy as like learning something new and then like forcing that information on other people.
Yeah.
So, natural.
So we did it. We lost some weight and we felt better.
We felt pretty good, and we were like, okay, well, let's kind of keep up this healthy lifestyle.
It ended in right before Thanksgiving.
That program, but we have been able to like maintain, and then from there it was like more physical fitness. So that was more the nutrition side, and then it was like I learned pretty quickly like strength training is incredibly important, and endurance training is also important, and like there needs to be a balance. Like I had always just been a runner, like that was like my only real source, but like walking is great exercise, hiking is great exercise. We got a Peloton, we did it,
and then garage gym,
and we have our little gym in the garage with like weights and things like that, and like started working out more together. And I will say that like despite the fact that like nutrition started out as maybe a point of contention between us because I kept forcing us to try different extreme fad diets, and he wasn't interested in those extreme fad diets, and then he'd be like, ugh, and then we would have a fight about it, and it was weird, right? But despite that, it was also like this last going about this in a healthy way and like seeking nutrition has actually brought us together, which has everything to do with our marriage.
Yeah.
And now setting goals together, like fitness goals, is like even more.
Yeah. And so it gives us this opportunity, like she said, to do a lot together, whether it's signing up for a race, training together. I mean, that's most of it.
We do a lot of training together, yeah.
Like we just ran a half marathon, so we trained for the whole thing together, and then we decided we're going to run it together, finish together, and then, as soon as that ended, I was like done. But a week later, it's like, nope, let's sign up for another one. So within 2 weeks, probably, we had signed up for 2 more things.
Yeah, we signed up for a 10-mile race. So it's like a
15K,
and then we signed up
for
the Mammoth March in the spring, which is a 20-mile hike.
Yeah, so we've done that, and we've added physical fitness and just physical activities as not only like a daily thing together, but it's also we do a lot of physical fitness activities on our vacations.
Yeah,
I think every vacation includes like climbing a mountain or something like that.
Yeah,
or we'll go get up, and we're the people that bring our gym clothes in.
We do, and we'll get up every
We're
morning.
in the gym, and if there isn't a gym, we're running around the city. And
running cities is a great way to get to know it.
Yeah.
But also just those steps and going for it. Like we get so many steps in when we're on vacation too. But it's also, I think that's where, our why. Like why is fitness so important to us is as like in our marriage, well, and like nutrition and all of that is that piece of like, I want to be able to continue traveling with you. I want to continue to get those steps across every city and see it.
And, do things together and be good role models for our students and be role models for our children, our like Dylan and Evan, and so.
And the longevity piece.
Yeah.
Like, I fully want to be like vital and like crushing it when I'm in my 80s, right? Like I want to be like still getting around and able to travel
mobile,
and like mobile. Yeah, like mobility is so important, and I think for like our own marriage, like I want that for us. Like I want us to be able to like still do all the fun things together, and I know that like to a point, you know, things happen and like sometimes you lose parts of your mobility or whatever, and I want to do everything I can when I can preventatively. Like I don't want to get to 20 years from now and wish that I would have done more strength training or flexibility training or mobility training. Like we can do that now. Actually, one of my Peloton instructors that I follow said um, we do now what others won't, so that in the future we can do what others can't. And I always think about that, you know, when it comes to that. Now, importantly, and because, you know, it's caused all of the contention, it also means like fully embracing when we're on vacation, we are like not necessarily focused on nutrition. Like we do a lot of fitness, but like I'm gonna eat the food.
Yeah, I think it's doing
like
the things
moderation.
And eating the things. Like,
yeah,
I want to eat everything.
Yeah, and that was where like a balanced approach to like fitness and nutrition was like so important, because like I want to be able to live my life too.
Yeah.
You know, I want to eat all my favorite foods, and sorry, but if you put Mexican baked goods in front of anybody in this family, we're not turning it down. Nor am I turning down pizza or tacos.
Pretty much.
Ice cream.
Pie.
I
mean, we can go on and on. Yeah.
We're foodies, and so that's the like the harbinger to like every fad diet was like, we love food.
Yeah.
So like none of the fads worked for us. What works for us is balance, and
doing it together.
Doing it together is so important. So if you and your like, I would highly recommend that, like coming together as much as you can. Like instead of one person being like, here's what we have to do, see if you can get both of you on the same page. Is like planning it out, figure out why you're wanting to do this. Is it because you want to like establish a stronger bond, the two of you? Is it for longevity? Is it because you want to make a good example for your kids, as Tyler said?
Or just plan out even like physical things, like we want to go for like walk together. Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
We want to be able to hike this mountain.
Running together. It could just be something as simple as a walk together, or
setting those small goals.
A yoga class or something simple.
Yeah, setting small goals in between, and like, here's how we're going to do this. But training together really has like physical training, whether that's strength or endurance or hiking or whatever, is so awesome for us. Nutritionally, it's also important to be on the same page. Like there's definitely weeks where I'm like more dialed in than you, or you're more dialed in than me, but for the most part it's like we both agree on like it's important to be mostly doing healthy things, and then like making room for like all the rest, because all the rest is like why you do the other stuff.
And there's a whole lot in our journey, so if you have questions, ask, like, have you tried this, and what is your thoughts about this? Again, we're not professionals.
If you're wondering,
or experts or nutritionists, but
if you're wondering if I've tried the diet,
or we've done a lot and we failed a lot, and we just found something that works for us. So
hopefully that helps with you guys a little bit. If that's something that you've been curious about as well, but reach out if you have questions, and stay tuned. We're gonna get our next episode here rolling. We've been talking about different topics. If there's something that you want to hear about, feel free to reach out.
Yeah.
Thanks.